Okay, I have a few sort of like short Trumpy stories to go over with you guys. These are mostly comedic elements, but they're also just sad and pathetic, and more about just the sad state of Trumpism and Republicans in the United States. Which, by the way, they could be in a sad state and still win in 2022. And in fact, I think it's quite plausible. So first and foremost, you guys know about Donald Trump, I'm guessing. You also know about this guy, Mike Lindell. We know him as Mike Pillow. He's the CEO of MyPillow. And Mike Lindell has been one of the main conspiracy delusionists. Delusionists or delusionalists, I guess is the question, who has been basically since the November 2020 election saying in December, this thing will be overturned. By January 6th, it will be overturned. By January 20th, it will be overturned. It'll be March. Trump will be back in office. April. It'll be by the summer. It'll be by the end of summer. The latest, I think, is that it'll be by Thanksgiving. But clearly that is not going to happen. And maybe he's forgotten about that. This is so weird and bizarre. Apparently, Mike Pillow has recorded what they are describing as an exclusive blockbuster interview with Donald Trump. And Trump's wearing a tuxedo in the interview. I don't know why. I'm guessing there's some explanation. Maybe this was done at an event. Who really knows? And Lindell is promoting this interview as so earth-shattering that when he plays it the week of Thanksgiving, the American people are just going to rise up and demand that Donald Trump be reinstated. And I'm going to look at just a preview of this interview. It's completely off the rails. Take a look at this.
Go back to November 4th, and we all lived this twilight zone.
Twilight.
I always say, like, there was an old saying, if a tree falls in the forest and no one heard it, did it really fall? Well, then the media tells us there is no forest. Yeah. I mean, that's where it was.
I love Trump saying, yeah, as if he understands what Pillow is talking about here. Let's continue.
Back in November and December. And
now.
We were, I know. But we were all living in this twilight zone. You were living there with us. But then you had all the betrayals and attacks on you that escalated to a whole nother level. And Eric told me once that you said right before you were going down that escalator to make your famous announcement.
Can you imagine?
That you said, well, we're going to find out now who our true friends are.
That's true.
And I've never forgot that he said that to me. And, it was everyone out there since that time. We've all been praying for you to have strength. And my question is, what does give you the emotional strength?
Really a hard-hitting blockbuster interview, as you can imagine. So it's sort of unclear what Trump is even really doing right now. He may be, there's this idea that he's preparing for some kind of big 2022 participation of sorts in the midterms. He's off Twitter. We don't really know what it is that he's doing other than publishing these bizarre statements. So just to give you an idea of what he's been up to, an example statement Trump published to his website: the Unselect Committee of Politically Ambitious Hacks continues to subpoena people wanting to know about those protesting on January 6th, the insurrection which took place during the presidential election of November 3rd. So Trump is now saying the insurrection was the election that he claims was stolen. There is so much proof, but the fake news media refuses to print it or show it in any way. Read the Arizona report, look at Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, numerous other states. Nothing's happening there. Nothing's happening in those states. So Trump with still insisting on this stuff. And at this point, is it even to raise money? I don't know. Trump, I was going to say tweeting, but posting blog posts where he says, look at what they found in Georgia. 74 counties in Georgia are missing ballot images. Okay. Trump posting, I keep wanting to say tweeting, an article from the Daily Signal claiming that 26,000 dead people are still registered to vote in Michigan. Now, remember, guys, we've talked about this dead people voting thing. Just because someone's registered and died since being registered doesn't mean they voted in Michigan. The dead people voting thing has been widely debunked. And then Trump attacking Liz Cheney with an approval rating at 19% in Wyoming. People are wise to Liz Cheney. She is a threat to free and fair elections, which are the cornerstone of our country, because she caved so easily on the crime of the century, meaning the fact that Joe Biden actually won the election. This is sad, but I think we shouldn't underestimate the reality that there is still energy behind this guy, and last week's election results, combined with whatever it is that Trump may have planned for the midterms, could very well lead to Republicans cleaning up in 2022, taking the House, taking the Senate, winning more state governorships, and having almost, Democrats would have the White House, but having almost total control of the country for at least a period of a couple of years, during which they could do a ton of damage. One of our sponsors is Nebbia, who have developed the most impressive shower head I've ever seen. It was designed by former NASA engineers who spent years researching how to save water. And what they created, the Nebbia by Moan Spa Shower, uses 45% less water than a traditional shower head, but with an 81% more powerful spray. And they do this by using atomized droplets that rinse soap and shampoo off faster than any shower head I've ever used. I installed Nebbia by Moan Spa Shower in my bathroom at home. Took 5 minutes to set up. I've been using it for about a year. I'm in and out of the shower way faster because of that powerful spray. But again, it's helping the planet and your wallet by using 45% less water than a traditional shower head. Nebbia is currently offering free shipping in the US on pre-order products, and for all other Nebbia products like the shower head, which starts at just $199, you'll get 10% off when you go to nebbia.com/Pacman and use the promo code Pacman. The link is underneath this video.